All right, and we're right into game two here. This time we have team. Okay, same sides on the teams. It looks like team Grievous is still on the left-hand side here for us. Team the blue team, and we'll try to remember the names of all the people on the right-hand side here. We got the Mordekaiser banned. That's pretty much always going to be banned. It's one that I don't think is. It's been unbanned one time in Hate Your Friends, and I think that it wasn't picked. I think we wanted to pick it, and Ethan wanted it, and somebody else picked instead right before the second round of bans, and they immediately banned it for the second round of bans, so we didn't get to play it. I've not seen him play that in Hate Your Friends possibly ever, if not a very long time from now. This time they're just going to ban the Darius. They're not going to try to get it the way this time. I expect to see probably the same bans from Team Hardcore over here. I'd expect to see that Singed ban. I don't think I want to let it go through. I think that Vronti probably thinks he could punish it, but I also know that it's really, really annoying to deal with, and he probably doesn't want to have to chase Singed down and deal with his proxying and try to, make good rotations with his jungler to try to deal with that. I think it'd just be a pain in the butt more than it would anything else, and so likely they'll see that ban still. Curious the last ban would be here. The Skarner, there it is. I like that ban. That's a good ban. Skarner has such a high impact on the game. I know that Connor was annoyed with that Skarner. That flash ult, it's happened to me too. I hate it. It feels so bad. Like, what can I do? I couldn't afford my QSS yet. If I did, I wouldn't be doing any damage because I wouldn't be able to pick up my third item. I needed that third item. When do you get that QSS? It's hard. It's difficult. Just get it out of there. Don't worry about that. Save yourself the headache. Be able to, especially if you're on something like Aphelios, be able to keep yourself a little bit safer, a little bit more reliably from something like that. That Skarner. I'm curious if we'll see the Kha'Zix picked up here. I know Nick Born. Sorry. He used to be Born Identity. What's his name? And now it's Maw Morbius. That's what it is. Maw Morbius. Very fun name. A little bit of a mouthful to say. We'll call him Maw, maybe. That'd be good. But Nick, Maw Morbius. I know he's been playing that Kha'Zix a little bit. It's been a little back and forth. I know he's been working on it. I'm not sure if he's confident enough to break it out and Hate Your Friends just yet. But that might be his Zeri. I think that's probably his Zeri. It looks like they're probably going to still keep Zan in the jungle here. It looks like they figured out that he's going to be the jungler, so they're going to prioritize that Skarner over the Kha'Zix. Even though Kha'Zix is very strong right now, I do like the Zeri pick. She's definitely tricky to be good with, but I think that Nick's pretty confident on her, and I'd love to see if I'm not sure how strong she is this patch. We'll have to find out, but I think that both her and Jinx are very safe early ones to pick. You like to pick those ADCs up early because they're pretty flexible. Rakan, that's going to be Goose on the Rakan more than likely. It's a very common pick for him. I don't see them flexing that anywhere else or to any other players for the most part. So I wouldn't expect too many people to be swapping up the roles here. I think that Tom's definitely still going to be the top lane, given that he did call Ethan out and he wouldn't be enough of a coward to then flip the lane that he's in. Going to be a Bard picked up for Yuri, perhaps Omja. Interesting pick for sure. All right, let's see how that does for him. I'm not very familiar with playing Bard myself, though I know what he does. We'll see how well that can impact. Those ults can be very, very high impact, and I would love to see maybe if they go for something that could dive a little bit, they can turn off that tower with his ult and then make a dive happen. That could be pretty sweet. Jinx doesn't mind that. Jinx is pretty good at that. Poppy's able to do that pretty well there. That could be a good choice for her there. Poppy's also pretty good against the Rakan and the Zeri, with those trying to dash around a little bit. The Zeri doesn't have that often of a dash, I suppose, but the Rakan definitely likes getting out and all that. Poppy will mess that up for sure. It's going to be very difficult for the Rakan to get out once he engages if there's a Poppy nearby. It also does kind of limit what you can play in the jungle against it as well, assuming that is a jungle Poppy. It probably is. I think it's very likely. I think Poppy's good in the jungle. That's going to be Zan's Ivern. Ivern is very annoying. So far we have a bit of like a protect the Zeri comp going on. Let's see what they pick up. I would love to see a bit, if that's kind of what they're going for, I'd love to see some strong frontline coming through as well. We are recording right now. Let's double check. So cool. All right, make sure. Sanity check here. We're still early on in my days of the tech issues. Trying to make sure that's good to go. We see the Xerath ban coming through there. I do like that they're waiting on the Xerath bans here. Gonna see the LeBlanc in response. I like that. You might also want to take out a Kali then. Those are two that you very often see from Hobomaniac here, and two that he's very, very confident on. And they're both mage assassins ready to just blow you up. I personally find a Kali even more annoying than LeBlanc because she goes invisible every like half a second for like ever, and you can never see her, you never punish her. She's 8 million dash, she's so much mobility. LeBlanc also has a ton of mobility, also has some invisibility. Also pretty annoying, but the Akali is just, whoa, the Akali is scary, man. And he's very good at her. They're going to get rid of the Jax. Healer Diff says, I don't want to see the Jax in top lane. They have counterpick. I don't want to be counterpicked by a Jax. What would he be picking into it that he would care about a Jax so much? I don't know. They did ban the Singed, as we would expect there. But But I think, very, very similar bans to what we saw last game. I think the Jax might have been different. I don't recall what the last ban was from Team Grievous over here last time, but the rest of the bans are fairly similar. The Skarner and the LeBlanc coming through, and the bans are very similar on the side of, I think the bans are actually identical on the side of Team Hardcore over there. And they're like, hey, we won the game, so we're not going to change up our bans. Let's put the pressure on you. Ooh, that is a Kiana for Hobomaniac. That is nasty. He is very good. You're noticing a little bit of a trend here, maybe, in like the mid laners that he likes to play. They like to be bursty, assassin-y, and go invisible. That's kind of his whole thing. As that's what Hobomaniac, aka Drew, seems to like there. And we have the Urgot coming through for the top lane. So that could explain the Jax ban there. I don't know how that matchup is, but because considering Urgot has a lot of those shotgun knee things going on that are, I think, basic attacks, Jax will likely dodge most of that damage. That could be pretty nasty for him. Then we have an Azir pick up in the mid lane. I have not seen Epic Bro Moment play Azir. I think I've seen it in his champion pool. That's one that he's played a good bit, but I've not actually seen it. Let's see how well Kiana can punish this Azir. He's going to be jumping right up on her. Poppy's going to be pretty good into the Kiana, considering she moves around a good bit. But aside from that, there's not that many dashes on the other side. So I think that the Poppy's not going to be hugely oppressive in that sense. But the Ivern's definitely going to be in the jungle. So let's take a quick look. We've got Jinx and Zeri in the bot lanes. Two pretty safe ADCs. Nothing super, super exciting going on in that regard. We have Bard and Rakan. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult for the Bard to be effective compared to the Rakan, though the Poppy's going to shut down the Rakan a little bit. We have the Azir and the Kiana in the mid lane. That's definitely going to be a very interesting matchup to see. If the Kiana can hit level 3 and get herself ahead very quickly, like we saw last time, as soon as he hits level 3, he's going to be looking to make that early game trade, get that kill, use that Ignite, and get himself that gold, get back, and then snowball that advantage. That's going to be the same play we see again here on the Kiana. That's just what she's got to do. If she doesn't do that, she's going to be poked on by the Azir, by his range, and it's going to be very, very difficult for her to create that advantage for herself, unless she can get some good early roams maybe. But if the Azir is able to get himself ahead and have that prio by pushing and keeping that Kiana from being able to roam and keeping himself safe, and once he gets that ult, he can keep her away a little bit. It's going to be tricky, but I think Kiana is going to look very, very strong here. He's going to go Yomu's Ghostblade almost certainly, and that item is just so strong right now that she's going to be hitting like an absolute truck if they are not careful. The Jinx, the Bard, and the Azir are all going to instantly pop to this Kiana if she gets herself a lead, and that's going to be very, very scary, and he's very confident on the Kiana. In the jungle here, we've got the Poppy. Haven't seen too much Poppy. I know Meshi's a little bit new to the jungle for this season at least. He's jungled plenty in the past, but this season it's a little bit different. They changed some stuff up, so a little bit unfamiliar there, but last game he did really well. I was talking to him a little bit between games there, and that's when he told me that it's, he's only jungled like 2 or 3 times this season, basically. And so that was a really impressive performance from him there. Definitely want to see him play a little bit more with his team, and that might be not even Meshi's issue. It might be his team needs to play around him when he's trying to get to these objectives. They need to put a little bit more pressure and try to organize around these team fight situations a little bit better. I think it's kind of where they lost it in game 1 there, was a few of those objective fights that they probably should have grouped up for, or maybe just say, hey, we're going to give it, communicate that to your jungler, have him back off, or go for a little sneakier steal that's a little safer. I would love to see them group up a little bit better. That's definitely where Team Hardcore kind of took the advantage there, was grouping a little bit better and having that Skarner that can just run at them and is really, really hard to punish. That was a really, strong point for them. We've got the Ivern in the jungle versus the Poppy, like I was saying. So Poppy can definitely punish the Ivern early, but it's going to be difficult. Ivern's just pretty safe. He's not going to really try to do much to you. He's going to just run around jungle pretty quickly, pretty safely, be there with his team and start just trying to figure out whatever lane is ahead. I'm going to get that lane even further ahead. Or maybe if a team's behind, he can jump in the bot lane, grab himself a quick little root. If he hits you with that root, you're going to be still for a long, long time, and that's going to be pretty spooky. The Urgot and the Volibear up in top lane. We've seen Ethan on the Volibear. I think that was in game 1 of the last series here that we had. I think that we saw him be a pretty dominant force on that Volibear. We saw him beating up on the Gnar, snacking on him pretty early and just converting that advantage really, really rapidly. The Urgot, I think, will be a little bit more difficult to punish than the Gnar, but we'll see again if those two junglers put a lot of priority up in that top lane. I think that if they do, the Poppy and I think the Poppy probably a little more so than the Ivern. They've got a lot of punching power pretty early on to make some of those early ganks happen, especially if that Poppy can catch you near a wall or flash to get you near a wall. That'd be pretty scary. You can then flash away from it, but if you're Rakan, you can't dash away from it. If you're Kiana, you can't dash away from it because she's going to have that W there to keep you locked in. Forget the name of those abilities. I'll check on some of them to try to get those coming through. But I think the part of the I don't want to say sticking point. The point that I'm most interested in seeing how it goes is the Bard. I'm not sure how the Bard is going to factor into this game. The Bard ults can be huge, game-changing ultimates, or they can be really awkward and kind of worse for your team than anything else. So we have to see how Yuri, Omja, I'm so used to calling him Yuri. I see Omja and my brain just goes, Yuri, that's what that means. We're going to see how that goes, and I'm curious. I'm very curious. I'm going to immediately get rid of our spoiler bar as soon as we get in here because I don't want to see anything, and I'm very scared about this Qiyana. I'm very scared of this Qiyana for Team Grievous. I'm scared for them because it's going to be very spooky. I feel like I saw a kill on that. I didn't see which way it was, fortunately, but let's get ourselves the objective timer. Let's get that scoreboard up here and see if we go for any fancy invades. I don't think it's that likely. Of the teams that could, I think that I would say that Team Hardcore probably has a stronger level 1 here. The Bard could stun somebody if he hits them against the wall or something, but I don't think that Urgot's level 1 is very good. Azir's is definitely not very good. I think that Qiyana's is not great. Qiyana's basically not a champion, but I think that between the potential of Xand, he could start with his root on the Ivern, and I think that the Volibear and the Rakan have a strong enough early lane that they could go for something a little bit cheeky. It doesn't seem like we're likely to see that based on positionings here, but we'll find out, I suppose. And let's check. Any spicy runes or anything? Press the attack on Urgot. That seems pretty normal. Lethal Tempo on Jinx, totally normal. Aftershock on Poppy. Makes sense. What is this one called from Bard? I don't play tanks that often. Oh, Bard, tell me. Divulge to me. Guardian. That's what it is. Like, that one makes sense. Pretty common on a lot of supports, especially ones that are going to be kind of sticking close to your ADCs. Lethal Tempo on Azir. I suppose that makes sense. I think when I played against Azir, I think I've mainly seen Summon Airy used against me to be a little bit more poke heavy. But if he thinks he's going to be auto-attacking a ton, sure, go for it. Maybe it's like a Nashor's Tooth sort of Azir early and go for something like that. I think when I've been seeing it, they tend to go like Ludens into me, but I think Nashor's Tooth could make a lot of sense too. We'll see. I'm not that familiar with Azir personally. So we have the red buff start here. We have the Ivern starting here up here. It is red. He just grabs it real quick, preps it. They're friends. He just gets it prepped, and he'll be grabbing that just a little bit for himself here. We have the Poppy pathing towards the top lane, so we'll see if she's going to put some priority on getting to that top lane advantage going again for healer Diff here. And let's get our scoreboards in the right place. That's an important thing to do. Grab this, grab that, cool, and then we go up here, and we go there, and we are all good to go there. Sweet, pretty easy. All right, so we have the Cole here on the Zeri and the Cole on the Jinx as well. They're like, we've got a Rakan, we've got a Bard. We're both pretty weak early game. We're not going to worry about going for the early game power. We're content to farm it up here and just go with that. So we see level 2 picked up here from Azir first, which is good. The fact that he got himself that early advantage here. He's definitely going to be pushing into the Qiyana pretty quickly here, so that's a little bit scary, but I don't think the Ivern's that likely to come and make an impact here, given that he's picking up his top lane camps right now. But we see that's what's going to happen here. We're going to get this poke down. We're going to see Drew probably hit level 3 here and try to make something happen. Hopefully he's got some good timing and space for it. If the Ivern can swing around back here and time up with that level 3 from the Qiyana, they could really get themselves something going here. We're going to see a clear. That is a pretty slow clear here from Dameshi. Did I miss something? Did Ivern go and snack your blue buff? I think he did snack your blue buff from you, right? No, you went blue. Interesting. You went red to... No, you went blue to red to Raptors. Blah, blah. I don't know what I was thinking. No. Did he? No, I saw him get a leash on red. He went red, blue, Raptors, Krugs. That is an interesting path. I'm not sure I like that. If you're going to clear a quadrant, but maybe he was afraid of Ivern stealing away his blue buff. Like I said, this is what I was looking for. The Ivern's coming here to sync up with this level 3 on the Qiyana. If the Ivern can come in here and make an impact, they do have level 4 on the Azir now. It's kind of scary, but if he can get in here, gets the slow, gets in with the root, and gets the burst, the ignite, that should be able to maybe take it on. Not quite, but he's got him low enough that they're content with it. Pretty good. I don't think Qiyana allowed to flash after it. Most of her spells were down there, but that's what I was looking for that Ivern to come around and make that play. That's a big advantage now in the mid lane. You can see she's already up CS, even though she was being pressured under tower. Drew's really good at absorbing that pressure early, taking his moments, and getting that farm for himself. Azir was pushing in, probably focusing on the push and the poke more so than the CS, and Qiyana's just getting himself what she can, and Drew's really good. Hobomaniac is really good at getting those that farm anyway. Check out our top lane here. We don't have a ton of brawling here, a bunch of emoting out of the Volibear here as we're going to slowly push back in towards Volley. So he's pretty content with that, I imagine. Pretty even on the CS going there. A little bit behind here on the Poppy. Finds himself down about 2 camps, but then again, the Ivern doesn't really have much else up right now, so Poppy could catch up a little bit here as she takes her wolves into the Gromp. Bot lane's just going to be pretty much, I would say, probably a pretty boring lane. A little bit of CS advantage going towards the Zeri, but she's got, you know, another wave crashing into her, so that should even out a little bit. And I don't think we're going to see a ton going on there until the junglers come down. We have the Ivern pathing up top, grabs his Krugs that he made friends with, and we have a pause temporarily, or the game's just freezing, hard to say, maybe the game paused, I'm not sure. But the Ivern coming in for the first gank in top lane, though the Poppy's also pretty nearby, might be able to counter this. We'll see. He's going actually for the scuttle. He decides not to go for the gank, even though there was a really good time on that gank there. Would have loved to see you walk up there, Xan, and maybe make an impact here. As you can see, the volley was ready to fight that. And I know you want to get that scuttle, but go for that gank. I think if you go for that gank here, then you save this from happening. You're going to see the first blood here on that Urgot. If you path up there instead, I think you actually turn that around and start snowballing it out of the favor of the volley bear. Unfortunate there. Maybe he would have thought he was going to get that gank, because Ivern was so close by at first, and then he doesn't back off once he sees he's not. I don't know. The wave was in an awkward spot for him, I think, and so he kind of felt like he wanted to fight it, I guess. See the Poppy hover here to see if there's going to be an action coming in here. She's just going to play it a little bit safe here. And ooh, you don't have a flash here, Poppy. I don't think you're going to be able to do much, but I like showing and walking the wave in, I guess. That's fine. Get yourself a reset. Grab yourselves the level 2 camps here. Guys, level 3? I can't see. They level up strange. It's like level 1, 3, 5, 7, but like the second rotation of your camps here. Get those going, and we see, you know, a little bit of farm difference here for the Ivern. That's fine. He farms for free, basically. I think that if Poppy had pathed a little bit better, he might be right on par with it. We see the Moby Boots picked up immediately for the Ivern here. Going to starting to rotate around and make some of these plays. Don't think they're going to quite catch out the Azir here, as Azir is pretty darn safe. He should be able to dash himself away. He messes up the combo on the dash a little bit. That's unfortunate. Okay, the Ignite comes down onto the Qiyana. He's actually able to poke him off there. Okay, that's it. Qiyana's out of mana there, so she can't really follow up very much. She's got her Ignite coming up here, and she just hit 6. I think if she gets herself a little bit more mana, she might be able to take an all-in here on the Azir. Bot lane's going to be pretty boring here, though the Poppy's close enough that maybe she can rotate down to her gank here. They don't have any vision. It could be some pretty good timing. The Ivern is close enough that he might be able to counter it if they see it coming, but it's going to be anyone's guess if they actually do that. Bot's going to take a reset. Nothing's going to happen in bot lane. Like I said, this bot lane probably going to be a very boring farm fest. Pretty even in the CS numbers, I like that. Mid definitely have themselves a little bit of an advantage that's made up in the jungle, and we're about 1,000 gold up in the for team hardcore here. It's going to be mostly for the first blood and the farm difference from the. Oh, man, I keep pushing tab when I try to change that. That's going to be mostly in the first blood and the farm difference here in the top lane. Whoops! Don't get spoilers. It's X, that's the button. Okay, cool. So yeah, as we can see, most of that advantage is coming out of the top lane here. So hopefully we can get a little bit of help on Healer if he's going to flash the ultimate here as the volley shuts off the tower. If you can flip him back, maybe buy yourself a little bit of time, you're able to make something out of this, but I don't think you're likely to be able to do much. Unless Vronti gets... Did he get CC'd? I don't think he did. Let's run it back real quick. He's able to trade that back. What happened there? So he turns off the tower's on him, and then he gets... stunned. Did he get stunned for a second there? I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but I'm not that familiar with Urgot's kit. Maybe he hit him with his ultimate? Nope, his ultimate was down. Yeah, not really sure what happened there, but either way, he was probably not getting out there with his life. I think he's probably content to trade it. He's got, the lane is going to push into it here, so I think he should be able to reset and bounce back to him pretty well, so that's an okay spot for him there. Unfortunate. I think he would have liked to have that be a cleaner kill, obviously, but it's okay. Check out here. We've got level 6 coming pretty soon on our junglers here. That'll make a pretty good impact here. I don't think the Qiyana's been able to go for an ultimate just yet on the Azir. Definitely a little bit difficult. Maybe he's trying to shove that wave in and then rotate somewhere. He's got the Poppy here looking at this Qiyana like she's a tasty little treat for herself there. But unfortunately, it seems like Qiyana sniffs it out. I think he saw her on the ward here when she walked by, and so he knew that she was in that bush. The Qiyana is going to all in on the Poppy here. They have a full team of full rotate up here on the Dameshi. That is unfortunate for Meshi. I don't think he saw that coming. He was just trying to clear a little bit of vision, but they saw him on that ward and started making the play. The Azir then is going to try to punish it. He misses the ult. He sends the ult the wrong direction, or he just tries to push her back. Not really sure what happened there. I think he maybe if he just pushed her forward, he might have just had the damage to connect on that. I know you want to bring her closer to finish her off, but I think that angle just wasn't good for you. Then we're going to see the red team hardcore here get this first dragon for themselves and start snowballing a little bit in their advantage. Definitely feels like they're a good bit ahead at this point, nearly 2,000 gold ahead at this point. Unfortunate for Meshi that the entire freaking team rotated up to get him there. That's why you got to make sure you walk through those bushes as you go. I know that with the pathing, you probably just snuck around and didn't quite get into that bush, but when that ward spots you out, that info is ending up working against you as opposed to that gank working for you. Unfortunate there. Definitely going to be difficult for the Urgot up here. The fact that he traded back that first kill there, second kill there, does at least help him out a good bit. It means that the Volibear is not going to be quite as oppressive here, though he's still definitely behind. He's going to get the Cannon Minion, nice, and then he's going to trade his life for the Cannon Minion probably. Is the ult up for the Volibear? It is not quite, but I think as soon as that ult comes up, we're likely to see that Volibear dunking on that tower and snacking up another Urgot kill for himself. I feel like I'm using the word snack a lot. I like it. Not gonna say sorry for that one. I enjoy it. So definitely, you see again, top and mid pretty strong for Team Hardcore here. Bot lane pretty even, though the Zeri's up a little bit of CS, basically dead even in bot lane. Not really anything going on. An assist picked up for the Zeri and for the Rakan, probably making that almost dead even in gold. Nope, not the spoiler bar. So yeah, pretty much even there. You've got a little bit on the Zeri in the lead. You actually have a decent lead on the Rakan. Interesting. I'm not sure how he's up so much. I guess the Bard has probably not been poking very much on the with the Spell Thief's edge that he's got for himself there, so he's probably having a harder time stacking up his support item as opposed to the Rakan, who just can take the Cannon Minions and melee minions occasionally for his Jinx there and trade feed those minions. Words, Tony, what are you doing? You know, like I said, amateur casting. That's what you're here for. Let's see if the priority is put onto the Herald here. I think that red team has themselves in a pretty good position to go for that Herald now. They have pretty good vision around it too. The ult is up for this Volibear. I think that if they take the Herald, they could pretty easily dive this Volibear. They might just dive this Volibear anyway. I'm sorry, not so. They might have the Volibear dive this tower and take this Urgot out anyway. The Daisy is going to come through and just wreak havoc on it. I think this is a very dead Urgot. Will it kill trade back? Almost certainly not. Though we did get a big slow there. The shield from the Ivern coming through and guaranteeing that that's not going to take it out. I think he would have lived anyway, but it would have been pretty close at least. Now they should be able to snag this Herald for themselves. And let's see if Kiana's able to make a play here in mid. The ulti from... Ooh, okay. Both ults came out there. The Kiana one did not hit a wall. The Azir one keeps her away from him. We have a bot lane fight going in immediately. We have the Poppy ganking here. Pretty good gank. I think he'll be able to finish that off. He does. And is the okay. Azir's actually able to turn it around. Sorry, okay, we need to visit both of those fights. We need to revisit both of those fights individually real quick, because those were happening two simultaneously, and I couldn't follow what happened. So we're going to watch the mid lane fight first, and then we're going to rewind and watch the bot lane fight as well. I'm pretty sure I know. I'm pretty sure I know what happened to each of them. So we have the Kiana ult there, not quite. So it does hit the wall. It just doesn't because she's knocked away. She's not able to actually make anything happen when that stun comes through. For the flash from the Ivern here to get the kill on the Azir. Hopefully it goes to the Kiana. It does. All right, cool. So Ivern just rotates in, swings that fight. It was going to be pretty darn close. I think it was favoring the Azir at that point because of the range he had. So the Kiana did still have Ignite. I think it was favoring the Azir at that moment until the Ivern came and made the difference. Now we're going to rewind real quick and watch that bot lane fight. I think it was a Poppy gank just being pretty effective here. So she comes in from behind. They don't have any vision here. They go for the Bard ult. It misses. That's unfortunate. Bard then jumps himself in. The Poppy stays on top of the Zeri. Tries to get herself away. Just can't quite. The Jinx actually picks up the kill. That's pretty sweet. I don't think... Ooh, they might be able to pick up the kill on the... They do. The Poppy ult into the Jinx ult able to do enough damage there to get the Rakan before he's able to get himself out. Nicely done. All right. Really back and forth there. Both of those... Again, we have the same kind of thing where the bot lane is swinging in favor of Team Grievous here, but the top and mid are definitely swinging in favor of Team Hardcore. We'll have to see who convert those advantages. It's definitely a bigger early game advantage in those middle and top lanes because those characters are just a little bit stronger early. But that Jinx is going to be a scary force to deal with. To reckon with. That's what the actual expression is. Once it comes to a bit of a later game situation here, but we're seeing about 2,000, a little more than 2,000 gold in favor of Team Hardcore here. This top lane definitely is becoming pretty rough for this Urgot. We'll see how well his team's able to help him out here. I do think that we could have grabbed a Herald at some point here for Team Hardcore. I think you've had enough prio in that top and mid lane that you could really make that Herald work for you. Especially with plates going down in 2 minutes, I think you're kind of missing the sweet spot on going for it. Though maybe if this Volibear shoves in this wave and Ivern rotates over, they could grab it and still get some value. I would love to see that happen from them there. But overall, again, we said bot lane was just going to be a farm fest, but when those objectives come up, when the teams rotate or those ganks come in, then we can see a lot of action down there with those AD carries. Okay, another big trade from this Volibear here, chunking him away and being basically at full HP. That is so rough for the Urgot. He's got himself that Tiamat, though, to help wave clear a bit. And I do like this, going for that Herald. They're going to have to drop it almost immediately after they get it in order to get themselves some value. But I do like them rotating over here. We've got the Azir just trying to catch some vision down. Should be able to get himself over that wall pretty safely. The Kiana is going to come through, and he knocks away the Volibear. You got to get yourself out of there, sir. You got to get out of there. Yeah, man, I think if you walked back a little bit faster instead of trying to go for a little bit more damage on the volley, he would have been okay. Flash and ult from the Volibear here, going to get themselves on top of that Poppy. And once again, you're trying to play around the objectives, right? You really are, Meshi. It's unfortunate just because your top and your mid are behind. I think you really just got to focus on these dragons. You got that dragon up in 30 seconds. Rotate down, take your red buff, take your raptors. Get yourselves ready for that dragon while they take that herald. I know you don't want to give up the herald, but it's close. They might not even get plates out of it at this point, but part of that might be because you did delay them, but they're still likely to be able to drop this top and grab some plates, because I don't think that the Urgot's going to be able to push them off enough. Jinx ult goes wide there. I like the idea. Don't get yourself too deep in there, but they give themselves a plate there. And then I think I would love to see this Poppy rotating down towards this dragon here. I think you just ignore your red buff right now. You see that your bot lane has prior. The Zeri is really low. You know she's backing. They're about to see the top laner, the Ivern top here. I think once they see that, I think that Diff knows that he's dead here. He's just trying to get as much advantage as he can here and delay them from dropping that this is going to delay him from dropping that herald and getting any plates out of it. So, you know, he knows he's dead here. He traded his life for a couple of tower plates and some minions. I think that's okay. I think, you know, he's not in a great position here. He knows he's behind. This is going to stop that herald from getting some plates and getting that first tower down early. I think it's pretty good. It's going to buy some time for your team to take the dragon. That's a good death, you know? You're in a bad spot there. You shoved up really far. He probably knew he was going to die by shoving that, but he's going to get himself a good bit out of it, at least with that death. So that's a good death. For him being behind, I like that. You're able to get yourself, okay, a bunch of chain CC onto the Kiana here. And are they able to pick up the kill? They missed the Azir again. That's a little bit unfortunate. The Kiana flashes at a good time there. They weren't quite able to overlay the CC as much as they would have liked to there. It's definitely awkward. The Bartle, it is CC, but it's also buying time because you can't be hurt when you're in it either. So the Kiana's able to get her spells back up there and buy herself some time and get that flash ready to go and make sure that Azir misses. So a little bit tricky there. She's got the whole Yomi's picked up now, so we're going to see her start bursting some people pretty quick here. I like taking the Azir turret here. I think that's a good, okay, not the Azir summons turret, so I think taking the mid lane turret is very smart here. It's pretty low. It's going to definitely crack it. It's going to be your first turret gold bonus, right? They didn't get a bot lane. Jinx was on top of it. So not going to get another charge off, but that does make the Azir a lot less safe, and that gives the Kiana a lot more freedom to roam and start impacting plays with that early game advantage she has here. We see her up about 30 CS and 3 kills. That's going to start to be really scary. So it's going to be the story of, can this Jinx stay safe enough and keep accumulating enough advantage to snowball some of these team fights into the favor of Team Grievous. They're down about 5,000 gold now. They did pick up the dragon, which was good for Team Grievous, but it's going to be difficult. They're definitely fighting an uphill battle at this point, but, you know, I would love to see this go to a game 3. I like it. Flip him into the tower. You know, he's going to have his ult, so the tower's not really a reliable thing for you. It's going to be turning off whenever Volibear decides it. A little bit of disrespectful emoting going on back there. And let's take a look at the map around, and let's take a look at map overall. Not too much going on. Junglers are both back. Not too much happening. Whoops, the spoiler bar. No, I didn't see anything. Might have seen a kill for Red. Who's to say? So in mid lane, we've got a huge goldie there, about 2.6 thousand gold. That's a lot. Top lane, about the same, a little bit more of an advantage for top lane. So mid and top, definitely pretty far in favor of Team Hardcore here. In mid lane, sorry, not mid lane, in bot lane though, we see that the Jinx is up about 800 gold. Not a ton, but she's doing her best to try to keep that going. And I think a good team fight or two could really get this Jinx to pop off and get some kills. If she gets 1 kill, I think she could get 2 or 3 kills pretty reliably with that Get Excited passive. Ooh, okay, nice there. The Ivern tried to throw the ball there, and I think that's how it works, and so she ends up stopping. We smack him against the wall. We have the Urgot rotate down. We have the Kiana ult that was huge. It's buying a lot of time. The Azir is really low. Unfortunately, flashes away, but can't quite get himself away. The Rakan gets in there and taunts some people up. The Poppy is trying to get onto this Kiana. They pull in the the Kiana, shut him down, get that fear going, but I think you just need to run out of here, Poppy. I don't think there's any saving this Volibear. Just try to make sure you don't die as well. They end up trading that 1 for 2, but they get the shutdown of the Kiana, so gold-wise it's about even, honestly. She had a 300 gold bounty, so she's worth 2 kills. So that's actually not bad. We'll take that. And who did the money go on to? We went on to Urgot. That's pretty good. He needed the spoiler bar. He needs some advantage there for sure. We have Moonstone Renewer. Is that what it's called, right? Moonstone? Yeah, Moonstone Renewer on the Ivern here. Pretty, general item for Ivern there. He's going to be trying to support from the back line and just get his team advantages. It's very annoying to play against Ivern, man. Especially with a team that is ahead. He just makes teams that are ahead do even better. We'll have to see how this Azir scales into the mid game here. He's definitely behind, but Azir is pretty scary once he gets some items online. Jinx is doing pretty well for herself. She's picked up about a 20 and some odd change CS advantage, so she's doing pretty well there. Got herself 2 items finished and working on those Berserker's Greaves here pretty soon. Might see If they really lean into the team fight aspect of it, we could see a Runon's Hurricane coming out onto her here next. If not, maybe we go for another. It's going to be an attack speed item regardless. Is it Phantom Dancer? Is it Kraken Slayer? Is it Runon's Hurricane? Or is it Rapid Fire Cannon? I could see the Rapid Fire Cannon. I think it would hurt her damage a little bit here, but I would, the range is nice to have against the Kiana and the Volibear, so I wouldn't hate that item, but I think if you're going to be going for really team fight centric builds here, I think the Hurricane could be really good to spread out some of that damage. I think it can be pretty solid on her. If he thinks he's going to be running at single targets and going for like a bit more skirmishy, the Phantom Dancer could come through, that'd be sweet. Urgot's going to take this time that he has to get himself a tower here, get himself some gold there from that tower. That's pretty nice. That's a good bit of change going into that Urgot's pocket. He earned himself about 1,000 gold in the last couple minutes here. Overall, nearly a 5,000 gold advantage going in favor of Team Hardcore here, but they're going to catch this Rakan here. I don't think there's any way he's getting out. Get that kill on the Jinx. Lovely, lovely. As much as I'm sure that the Rakan wants that money, I think that feeding your Jinx here is the way to go. Everybody grouping up here in mid lane from Team Grievous. I like that. The dragon is spawning in about 10 seconds here. I like getting yourselves in good position for it. I like the idea of getting yourself ready for it. I don't like the idea of diving this tower here. Oliver's going to jump in and put it on the work. The Tommy just says, "Get out of here, bear." Sends him back to his base, sends him packing. That's a ton of damage coming onto the Jinx, or not the Jinx, coming out of the Jinx here onto the Zeri. Jinx is getting excited. I think they now just move down towards this tower and, towards this dragon, but the Kiana is definitely looking scary. I think that we need to respect the fact that we're kind of low here, and they're still pretty strong. The Jinx is going to have to stay pretty far away to do much here, unfortunately. She's not able to get out her damage very safely at the moment. Yeah, the Volibear's on her, and I think she's probably going to die. It's so much shield. That's the Ivern coming through here, I think. The team got really low as far as Team Grievous goes. They got really low, but they got the numbers advantage early, but they were too low to really re-engage it. They wanted to fight it. They wanted to move down towards that dragon. I think if they had all gone down towards the dragon, maybe they could scare them off a little bit, but that Ivern coming through and providing shielding and support from the back line just made it so they couldn't quite get through. And given that most of the front line was too low to really do anything, nobody could really protect the Jinx and keep her safe there. So the Volibear was able to eventually run her down, unfortunately. So, definitely a big advantage coming out towards the Team Hardcore now, but we'll see if the Jinx can come through with another item in the future here, and once that third item comes online, she's going to be pretty scary. It's just they just got to play around her. I think that Meshi's trying to go a little too hard in the paint here, and needs to back off just a little bit. I know you get those numbers advantages, and you wanna keep doing it. I said I want to see him rotate down toward Dragon here. I think that was a mistake. I think that I was in the wrong there, and I think that they should have just taken the kills that they got, back up, give him the second Dragon. It's not a big deal. Take that gold you got. Don't throw good money after bad. Actually, that'd be throw bad money after good, right? Because they actually had done well to start there. So, take the advantage you got. Don't go for too much. Don't go for broke. And back off, spend that gold, get a little bit more into your pocket, and then kind of go at it again. But it's tough. It's tough to make that call in the moment. You got bounties coming up now. They have a 6,000 or so gold advantage, a little bit less. The Bard is okay, gonna get himself out there. Nice, good portal. The Kiana did not drop her ult, so we still have that going. So ult's up pretty much all around the board for both teams here, except for the Bard here. He tried to drop that a moment ago on the Zeri, and it did not hit. So we'll see. We have spoiler bar. I keep doing that, man. So pretty big advantage overall for everyone on Team Hardcore except for the ADCs. Connor Kirebo here is doing a good job of trying to keep himself strong. Using the red buff on him is really good. I'm curious to what his next item is. I think when we see that next item is when we're going to see if this can be pulled back for Team Grievous. Definitely the Baron is going to be the next thing on the map for a while here, but I don't know. It's still pretty early to go for a Baron. They don't quite have the damage yet. The Zeri only has one item completed. She should be backing here pretty soon and finishing up that item. I expect when she backs here, she's going to finish up that Navori for herself. Yep. So the Navori quick leads coming through, and we see 2.5 items or so on the Volibear, 2 items on the Ivern. We've got probably, I'd say this Kiana's probably going to back up pretty soon as well and finish another item for herself too. I'm surprised she hasn't finished another item at this point. Is she sitting on just a ton of money? She's sitting on, 1,500 give or take. Not a ton, but she should be able to back and finish herself a second item. I would definitely like to see her do that sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, Meshi's likely to get invaded here. He does get the he gets the Grunt for himself there. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think he might. I'm not sure that Bard stun was going to connect. All right, we need to back off here now. Just let the Bard die and back off, I think. I like the Jinx ult there. Just back off. You're throwing too many people out here. Okay, yep, take that. Take that ult. Get out of there. Okay, the Volibear flashes in. If we can get the W up, okay, so the W up on the Poppy here, we can block him out again. This could actually turn around here if the Jinx picks up 1 kill. If the Zeri goes down, he doesn't quite go down because of the shield from the Ivern. Oh, they're so very low. If Jinx gets 1 kill here, she gets 4. But I don't think she's going to quite be able to do it. There's too much CC potential coming out here. The Daisy is going to be just taking up too much space. They're not going to really do the Baron or anything because they're too low and they've got the Urgot rotating in. These HP bars are pretty darn low. They might be able to make something happen here, but it'd be a misstep or if anything. Oh, if they get vision on this Kiana. Drew was playing with fire there, but they didn't have vision, and so they couldn't do anything about it, and they'll never even know just how close they were to glory. That would have been a nice little bounty there, and a nice kill on the Jinx, and then maybe you can make something else out of it. I think I would like to see it. Poppy, clear out this vision here. You know you're pretty safe. Okay, you don't know you're safe. You didn't see them back. Okay, I see you being hesitant about that. You've tried to make those plays when you're a little bit alone before. It's a little scary to go for that ward. If you can drop yourself some vision here, then maybe blast cone over, then you can clear it for yourself. And let's see, it looks like Jinx is working towards that Hurricane. I like that. I like that. It's a good team fight item. These have been very, very important team fight games. So I like just going for maximum team fight damage output. In that last fight, she would have been pouring out damage if she had that finished. I think this is going to come down to Jinx. I've said that a few times now. If this Jinx can get that third item, if they get a good fight or two, this could really start to snowball back in the favor of Team Grievous. But it's going to be on them to find that moment. And it's going to be, it's going to need a little bit of a misstep from Team Hardcore here because they're doing really well. They're playing pretty well as a team. That Ivern is backing up his team really, really well. And we'll see if they can pull it back. He's 1-0-12, just playing the full support jungler. It's what he's here to do. We've got the dragon spawning in about 45 seconds here. We see both teams are trying to set up vision a little early for it, but you want to be the first one in there. Get yourselves that vision. That makes a huge, huge difference. We see the Volibear top. His teleport is down. We've got Urgot pushing out bot lane. There's so much vision right now, though, out of this, Team Hardcore here. Look at this. We got a ward here. We got a ward on the dragon itself. We got wards here. We see every direction that they're likely to come from other than straight through mid. And so if we push out this wave in mid, then you've got vision on that too. They've got the Azir turret spawning here to try to keep that down and keep them pushing up. Because if they get that mid lane prio, then they have an in. Now they have an in for they don't have vision. But it's going to be very, very difficult. We got the Urgot pushing up a little bit far here. He wants to get that objective bounty. I get that. You want the objective bounty. But if you die here, you're going to cost your team the dragon. That's unfortunate. I think he's going to die here without getting anything back. That's unfortunate. He got the bounty. That's not bad. You lose the dragon now. Now we need to just accept this dragon is gone. That's fine. It's third dragon. They get on soul point. It's not ideal. But if you go and you fight this and it goes bad, you give up Baron too. Accept the loss. It's not great. He got the bounty at least. He was getting something with his death again. But, just he's behind and there's not much he can do other than try to eke out some of that gold. But I would like to see him back off and maybe take a fight with his team there. But you're behind enough on gold that maybe the fight isn't the right play either. And if you take a bad fight here, you lose Baron. The Volibear is going to jump onto the Poppy here. I'm not sure that she's getting out of this. She does ult away the Volibear. Can she get away, though? The root from the Ivern misses. The slow from the Zeri gets him, and then he's gonna be able to survive it. Gonna be able to walk it off. They have the entire team in the red side jungle here, though. Everybody's coming in there. With the Urgot teleporting into bot tower here. I don't know if I like that. We had so many of them in that jungle that it's looking pretty scary. And I think that teleport is pretty valuable for you to be having up, especially with that Volibear having it up soon. And now you're bot lane with your teleport down and Baron is up. They're going to work their way towards this Baron here. There's no vision ever towards it right now. They're going to see them rotate from that one ward for just a second here. So they're going to know what's up. But now Urgot's bot lane doesn't have teleport, is behind. I don't think he's going to be able to get himself to this one in time. Best case, you're going to be able to poke them off of this Baron a little bit. I really don't see a way that Team Grievous can get in on this one. This should be Team Hardcore's Baron. You could Bard ult it to buy some time. See what's going on. Yep, buy some time. Annoy him a little bit there. I like the Chompers. Okay, do we have the Hurricane? We have the Hurricane finished for Jinx. So Jinx is being run down right now by the Volibear and the and the Rakan. The Kiana gets in and assassinates the Azir. That's pretty bad. We have Urgot actually come up. If the Jinx can get a kill here, if she can get a kill onto the Kiana, maybe. If the Kiana can go down, okay, she does not get her passive out of it, but we still have the Jinx alive. We should have Chompers coming up here in just a moment. If you can keep that Jinx safe, just keep her safe, keep her safe. Spend your lives if you need to. This is the Jinx show. This is about protecting the Jinx. She's getting in damage. She's staying alive. Zeri's dashing over. I think you can trade this. I think you can win this. I think you can win this. Not quite. They end up trading their lives for each other. Unfortunate. And now the Poppy, if you can just get out, then you at least guarantee that they can't get the Baron. I don't think you can get out. The Rakan goes for it in the W, and you get rooted. You're going to fall here. That's unfortunate, but I don't think it was... Ooh, okay. You got a little more out of that than I thought you would there, Meshi. But... Ivern and Rakan can't do the Baron. You bought your team enough time to respawn. Unfortunately, the Azir has not been able to get out much damage in this fight. I think if he was able, or sorry, in these fights, I think if he was able to do a little bit more in that fight, then they really could have gotten something going there, but he's definitely struggling. But it was a little bit chaotic there as far as like seeing everything that's going on. But again, it's about that Jinx, man. It's about that Jinx. She's picked up that last Whisper now. She's going to start doing a lot of damage here. And as you saw, she was doing a lot of damage in the last fight. Unfortunate that she didn't quite get that kill in this area before she died, because if she does, I think that we start to see that fight turn back against Team Hardcore, and I think that the Jinx can actually chase that down with the Poppy there. It's going to be a little difficult for sure. She's got to kite that the Rakan and the Ivern out pretty well, but with that Get Excited passive, she starts to put a lot of pressure on. Okay, clear out some wards here in this Baron. I like this. We see the Ivern bot lane here. I think that's fine. You know, the other team is not strong enough really to blitz this Baron. I like that they snuck it last time on Team Hardcore, but I don't think we're going to be seeing the same thing out of Team Grievous here. I think that they're just a little too weak to try to blitz this Baron, and if it goes wrong, they just lose. And they're not quite in a position where they need to make that kind of a desperation all-or-nothing play. Possible they could catch somebody looking here, because they have pretty good vision control. They might have been able to find somebody out there, but doesn't come out to anything just yet, and everybody's just posturing for Baron. We have Qiyana pushing out the mid lane here to get them some priority into the mid there. The Urgot clearing the wards, and we have volley top. Ivern's coming back from the back here, so they might have had a moment there to find a good fight, but it was difficult, and they backed off really well from Team Hardcore. And now we've got everybody grouping up again. We've got the volley top. He's got teleport, so he's like, I can TP into a fight if we need it. Just make sure I got some wards. They don't really have too much room to teleport to, except for this. This is a pretty nasty one. If they start a fight over near Baron, he's able to teleport in behind them. I mean, honestly, he's close enough he can just run down to the fight at this point, but if he does need to teleport, that's going to be a pretty effective ward for them. I think what we need to see here is we need to avoid a Qiyana assassination. If we can avoid the Qiyana before a team fight breaks out and deal with her in the team fight, CC her a little bit, you've got a decent amount of CC, you can hold her down. If the Poppy's able to get onto her and protect from that, I think we're going to look pretty good. But if that Qiyana gets onto either the Azir or the Jinx here, things are going to start to look pretty bad. So there's a little bit of scuffling going up here in the top lane. I don't think we should be wanting to take this full fight here, though the Azir's coming to help, it looks like. Volibear's going to back off. They see it coming. This ward doing a lot of work for him there. I don't know if it's actually caught him, but, you know, I think he's probably figuring, hey, Tom's being aggressive. Yeah, you see the missing ping. He thinks there's somebody there. So now we're going to see the vision cleared out in favor of Team Hardcore. So now we have no vision over here, so you got to move as a team in here and grab some vision for yourselves. I like this, going together with your team, sticking together to get that vision up. Will we find this ward? We will not find this ward. That's unfortunate, but it's going to fade soon, so we'll be okay. This is also a pretty good ward for them there. We have Dragon coming up in 20 seconds here. This is Soul, and so this is where things get difficult. It's probably what Red Team was waiting for. Is they knew that they didn't really need to take a fight just yet. They knew they could wait it out because Soul is coming up, and then they can be like, hey, you're going to have to fight us at Dragon. Or, hey, we could just give up Dragon, go to Baron, and make you deal with one of the two, right? They could leave one or two people here to try to, you know, fight the Dragon, but now they've got Volibear top with teleport priority. Oh, actually, never mind. The Urgot teleport came up as well. It's actually been long enough. So both of these top laners have teleport. They're trying to get themselves off vision so they could both teleport. It's probably why he's backing here, because he knows he can TP in. And we're going to see if anything ensues here. So let's try to get a little bit of manual cam going. I had to pick up my mouse for a second there. So we're going to see everybody's being a little bit coy about starting this fight. That's because they know this one's a big one. If the Jinx gets a kill early here, it could snowball away, and they're going to just gun it down for the Qiyana. I like this. I like this. I like this. We want to get her out of there. You know that you're able to take care of her. Now you got to give it up. Now you got to give it the chase. If you do this for too long, they're just going to come and take this Baron, or take this Soul. The Dragon resets. It's a little bit awkward. It's going to buy them a little bit of time. They got the Volibear flanking around behind here. I think that they went a little bit too far on this. They don't have the Bard ult to slow down the Dragon anymore. They're actually able to get into this. They were a little slow on taking it. So this is actually going to be a full-on fight now. We have a full 5v5, and this will probably decide the fate of the game. The Volibear gets ulted away. The Qiyana goes down immediately. That's what we wanted to see. We got the W from the Poppy, making it really awkward for them. I didn't catch that one on there, but that's a really good kill. Nice. I love that. Pile on the CC to the Qiyana. She was a little too far forward there. She got ulted into the Poppy and is bonk dead. That's what you want to see. It's what you want to see. Objective bounties are about to fall off. They're going to grab themselves this Dragon. I think, honestly, you should have just sent one person to this Dragon and sent everybody else to this Baron. Send everybody else to this Baron, especially your jungler. You want the jungler there. But, I mean, it's Soul. You want to confirm the Soul for sure. That makes sense. But you save the Smite. Good thinking. Go grab this Baron now. This Baron is yours, and I think at this point, the Jinx is going to be pretty hard to deal with. That might have been the fight she needed for herself. She's got that Lord Doms. How much money does she have in her pocket? She's got, okay, not a ton, you know, 1,700 or so. So she's probably going to go back and pick herself up a stopwatch maybe for a GA. That would be my guess. Ooh, a Vampiric Stepper for a Bloodthirster. I like that too, actually. You want some sort of safety item there, something, and it's been very skirmishy. So I think the her thought process is probably, hey, if I get assassinated by Qiyana and I have Guardian Angel, I'm just going to die the second I come up if I'm in that position anyway. So, you know, why bother with the GA at that point? The stopwatch could do some work for you, but I think in general that's probably a better item for her if she's wanting to be a little bit further away and playing to her strengths rather than playing for the misfortunate I've died situation. Because if your Jinx dies, you probably lose the game at this point. Alright, so they did what they needed to. Like I said, we needed to avoid a Qiyana assassination, and they got the Qiyana assassination, where they assassinated the Qiyana. That's the ideal. And so now things are swinging back pretty darn close. We're within 2,000 gold to each other, and Team Grievous is on track to make this comeback here. You know, this area is going to be pretty scary as well, but I think the Jinx is just going to be so much scarier. We see the CS differences being pretty dramatic here. The Jinx has focused on getting her farm. She's been farm. All we need, guys, buy some time. Don't let them get the soul. Don't let them get the Baron, but just stall. Let me get my items, and then team fight it well. That's what you need to do. They're stomping it down mid here. They're going to bring this gold lead to a pretty much dead even. Gold lead, don't even gold lead anymore. Once they pick up the tower, it's going to be within like 1,000 gold of each other. They wouldn't have bought some of it, you know, they won't have spent their full amount of money, but the zero throwing them in there here, and it's just absolute chaos. We have a Qiyana assassination coming through, but we have the Jinx getting an assist. That's all we need. Jinx is now killing Volibear. Jinx is in the backline, she's going forward, and she's able to get a kill. She's able to get one more. The Jinx rocket comes through, misses the recon, that's okay. And the Zeri goes down, they get a triple kill for the Jinx. And like I said, it's the Jinx shot. That's a quadra kill. This is going to be a pentakill. It's a pentakill for Jinx here. You know it is. Don't take it, sir. Let him get the penta. Give him the penta. There it is. There's the pentakill out of the Jinx. I told you it was the Jinx show. I told you from 10 minutes in, this game was all about the Jinx, baby. And now with that ace and with the Baron empowered minions, there's no way they don't end out this game. This is going to be going to a game 3. I love that they made a comeback. Gold is dead even now. Not that it even matters. You won the game at this point. I told you. It was all about the Jinx. I told you, that's what it is. I love to see it. Well played, Connor, Kirebo there. You did great to buy yourself the time you needed. You did well to space things. I know it was difficult early. I know that you were getting got on by that Volibear, by that Qiyana. They had so much to get onto you, but you finally found a few good team fights. You finally, you finally grouped. That's really what it was. That was, I think, the big deciding differentiator between this game 2 and game 1 is things still went very similarly in game 1. We saw the early game advantage being in top and mid for Team Hardcore. Man, I'm struggling with the names. For Team Hardcore, and we saw the advantage in bot lane for Team Grievous. But what happened differently in the late-ish mid-game and late game is they were grouping a little bit better. They played those team fights better. We had Tom there a little bit sooner on some of these fights. I said the Urgot was bot lane. I was worried they wouldn't make it up in time, but he actually pushed out and then rotated up and was able to be there for that fight. And I like that. They did a lot better with their team fighting, and I love to see it. And I am very excited to see what they bring in game 3. I'm curious if Meshi has another jungler up his sleeve, and we'll see just a little bit in that one.